We have another call. Hello?
Hello?
Hi, who's this?
This is Teresa.
Hi, Teresa. What's your question?
I was wondering, Kroger, since I've seen your concert, I was wondering, because I've seen some of the crazy things you do, I was wondering what goes through your mind, like, while you're doing it. Can you have insane?
While I'm doing the shows?
Are you real focused on...
Yeah, I mean, there's like definitely a scheme and a theme that you follow, but within that, there's always been kind of a Grotowski bent in the sense of trying to explore those gratuitous moments, and that has led to moments where there's been a certain amount of destruction that's happened by accident. An example would be in Tampa, in Florida, one year we're using an ice pick to simulate needle usage, and somehow it got lodged into my arm about an inch, and that was something that wasn't meant to happen, but since did was displayed, and I mean, I couldn't do anything but, because I had to keep singing, and so things like that do happen that are a little out of the ordinary, but generally it's a scripted and you know, theatrical show.
And in fact, a couple of weeks ago, I was mentioning during our music news segment that you were arrested in Cleveland or Cincinnati or something for what by the animal cruelty people thought that you had actually.
No, it wasn't the animal cruelty people. It was somebody at the show had called and said that we were experimenting and mutilating on a real live animal, a dog, and it was in fact a stuffed animal that was made by an artist out here in Los Angeles, and you could articulate it to look quite real. And that night, I guess I did a good job. And
I guess
we had some plainclothes detectives come backstage and break down the door literally without showing us any ID, because we'd lost the dog the night before in Detroit. It was stolen, and we spent all night going back and forth across Detroit. And I don't know if you know how I found out how big Detroit really is, trying to find this dog. And we found it at 7:30 in the morning right before we had to go. So we were quite protective of it. And these police came in and wouldn't show us ID. And then when they saw it was a stuffed animal, they obviously, you know, turned bright red and then proceeded to find other things to charge us with. And we were eventually charged with disorderly conduct.
And knowing you, I can see that would be absolutely the case.
Yeah, well, it was ridiculous because what had happened was they were telling Kevin, the other guy in the band, to just sit down, and he wouldn't. It was like a drill sergeant in your face, and he wouldn't, by saying this is our space, which it was by law. I mean, really it was. You know, they had no right coming in there. And when he told Kevin that he was going to jail, I stood up, and he was, I wasn't going to let Kevin go down there by himself. And at that point, the uniformed police came in and saw this, and they let the detectives allowed them to take over, and they bashed me up against the wall, handcuffed me, and we were out of there. So it was it's a real sick sort of you know, formula used to extract this from the club and make a big thing out of what was, you know, what should be considered a big thing that's happening in laboratories and testing facilities around the world at a far greater you know, number and degree.
Which is something that has been demonstrated in your videos before, and we'll get to more calls, if not in this segment, in the next segment. And you've shown the animal experimentation in a video before. Have you gotten any backlash for any of that? And in the next part of that, are there any videos that really sort of get you? Because we were talking about the Nine Inch Nails video, where it didn't affect like you and Sean, where you just kind of like, okay, no big deal. But for me, I'm going, oh my God, they're drilling him there.
Right. Well, the Nine Inch Nails video is an example of, you know, that video would stand alone regardless, whether it had a song behind it or not. It's done by Jonathan Rees, who is kind of the cinematographer and DOP for Survival Research. So it has a life of its own, and you know, I found it quite interesting, and it's a good video. But again, it's all these things are not real, and I think, you know, as far as that gut feeling you get from it, I mean, it proves the point that type of simulated violence is far more cathartic and is not destructive and does not have the effect on society that society deems it to have on people. We did this, you know, a similar experiment with a film called Guinea Pig at our last tour by showing these exquisite scenes of Japanese snuff, which were simulated, and yet our audiences found them to be real, and their reaction, you know, thusly was very disturbed, you know, very angry towards us, and that proved the point that, again, you know, there's a far different set of emotions that are released when something is considered real or determined to be real. I'm sure that's the same thing that you went through. So it becomes a cathartic experience, and that's healthy, I think, you know.
Enough. We need to see more videos. So coming up, you're going to see Jane's Addiction, I think, a Jane's Addiction video. I'm not entirely sure which one. Mountain Song. There you go. It's for Lucia and Paramount, but right now here is Skinny Puppy Spasmolytic. It's for all the people here in the studio. After request video, the music you've been hearing coming in from each commercial break has been from Last Rites, which is the Skinny Puppy CD. Beautiful. You guys, you being part of Pigface this coming week, you're going to be touring. What's the story with that?
We're touring to support the new album Fook, and it will be coming along with the same circus type of attitude. I'll be 9 musicians, a cellist. We're bringing back the anti-tank guitar with Matt Scholes from Lab Report. Bassist is Flower. One other girl singer, I can't remember her name. I haven't met her yet. Anesh from KMFDM. Myself, William Tucker, and Martin Atkins, with guests all the way along the way.
Do you know when you'll be coming into L.A.?
We're coming into L.A. on the 11th. We're playing at the Palace of December.
Very good.
And there'll be the Fook Baby in the background. Tim Gore, who does our special effects, is making a Fook Baby, which is on the album cover. I don't know if people are familiar with what the album cover looks like. No one has the album cover here, do they? Yes.
Do you? Well, young man, run right up here. While he's getting that, why don't we take a phone call as to not waste a minute of our time. One phone call. Hello?
Yeah.
Hi, who's this?
That's Dan from Woodland Hills.
What's your question?
I wanted to ask Nivek, are you thinking about any solo projects?
Well, Welt was something that was that's been in the offing for a while. We've gotten about 10 songs done as far as bed tracks go, but it's kind of been put aside to work on this new Puppy album, because we're planning on spending 6 to 8 months in the studio to do it. So it's just, I don't want there to be anything to interfere with that right now. And you know, we all continue to write songs in different veins and ways. So as far as it coming out, though, I can't say when that'll come out.
Here is the copy of the Pigface CD right here for the whole wide world to see. Whoops, there we go. There, see, I've been doing this for years. I know how to make it not glare. Anyway, there's the Fook Baby, a giant one of these.
Yeah, it's a giant manipulated Fook Baby.
What bands do you really like?
What bands do I really like?
We've got to make it real quick because I'm getting that big wind-up.
Well, I don't know. There's bands like Helmet. I don't know beyond that. I haven't been listening to much new music lately, to be honest with you.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming down here. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you.
Don't even know. And good luck on the tour.
And good luck with you, too. Yeah, you got to.
Thank you. You know me. I'm gonna
look after my dog and Jessica.
I will.
You have to meet my dog.
I definitely will. Well, I hope the dog gets frisky with me. We're going to leave you with Social Distortion when she begins. It's for Sean and Encino. Please have a good weekend. Don't drink and drive. Monday, Anthrax will be down here. Tuesday, School of Fish. Wednesday, Further. Thursday, Heavy Bones. Friday,